Irie. Today I'm gonna make for you sponge cake. Alright, so my name is Miguel, and the ingredients are you're gonna use cake flour all purpose. We're using 6 eggs, vanilla, nutmeg, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, and baking powder and salt. And we're gonna whip up cream of tart. We're gonna whip the cream of tart with the egg white. We're gonna use the zest of an orange. I just washed it properly, so I'm just letting the water run off now. So you're gonna need cake flour. So measure out your flour, 1 cup. Add 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm using sea salt. Alright. So now we're gonna sieve this. This is 1 cup of flour. Add your nutmeg. Remember, this is optional. This is just my twist to the recipe. Alright, so now add the flour to this and sieve it. See, I put in about 1 ounce less than a cup, because when you sieve it, it's gonna come up to the cup. So you really want to measure 1 cup of sieved cake flour. Alright, so that's it. Just cover it. Let's cover this and put it aside for later. Now use parchment paper, 2 sheets, and cut out. And just use the scissors and cut within the ink, on the inside of the ink. This is a 8.5 inch baking pan. So that's alright. So take this, don't grease it at all, and just take this greasy side up and lay it like this. Alright, and put that aside until we're ready. Now I'm gonna separate the eggs. I'm gonna put the white in this. So this container that I'm going to put the white in, it gotta make sure it's dry and it don't have no grease. We're going to make the meringue. We're going to make meringue. Meringue is beaten white eggs and cream of tart to allow it to not overbeat. And I want to put the yolk in this. So separate the eggs by just doing that. Yolk. So do it like that for all of them. Here's a shell. So remove the shell. Oops. Alright. So once you complete all of them, all 6 eggs, we're gonna beat the yolk with 1/3 of the granulated sugar. I'll wash off all this on my finger. Alright, so now we're gonna mix. Put your egg white up inside. This is my blender that I had for ages. Alright, so we're gonna blend this with the sugar. Alright, so we're gonna beat this for 3 minutes. One-third of the sugar. See the texture is changing? That's what we want. See that creamy look? That's what we're going for. So do this for 3 minutes. So once you beat all the sugar in the egg yolk, add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And a teaspoon of orange or lemon zest. Use just the orange skin, don't use the white part. So 1 teaspoon. Orange zest. And 2 tablespoons of water. This 1. This 2. And just beat it at high speed for about a minute. Alright. We're finished. Just wash this off now. We're gonna do the egg white. Because I'm using the same blade, just wash it off, dry it. Make sure it's dried. Very important. So now we're gonna beat the egg yolk, egg white. Alright. Alright, so now we're gonna beat this to foam. This is my cream of tart. Add it gently. I was saying this is my cream of tart. I want you to add it pinch by pinch. Now this is the 1/3 of the sugar, the 1/3 of 1 cup. So we're gonna add it to this. Add it little by little. This is our meringue. You want to beat it until it gets a peak. Still running. This is a meringue. I love that word. Let's see how other people. So that's what you want. This. See that? Alright. And now this is our flour. Alright, so add it bit by bit. Just fold this in. Just fold it in. Use a spatula or a whisk and just fold the flour in. Sieve it. Fold it in. This is sponge cake, and you can see the sponge already. So you gotta remember, preheat your oven 8 minutes to 10 minutes before you bake. So your oven should be already preheated. So you just fold that in, fold it in, fold it in. Salt. So you want to fold it in, fold it. Now add the yolk a bit by bit too. Fold this in, fold it in, fold it in. Preheat your oven at 350 degrees. Just fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it. Add egg yolk. It's making a mess for me to add it this like this. but just fold it in, fold it. Just add the other proportion. Why I add it bit by bit? Because this is sponge cake, so we gotta mix it in little by little, because it's the egg yolk is heavy and the flour was heavy, so you gotta put it in bit by bit. Alright, so just fold it in. Fold it. Fold it. You notice I'm folding it. I'm kind of swirling this instead of mixing it. Alright. Get to the bottom. Make sure it's mixed thoroughly. Alright, you don't want to overmix. So now, mix the pan. Let's put it in. I didn't grease this pan, so just pour it in. Wow, it's so good. Oh, you can use a tube pan to bake this too, but I don't have a tube pan, so use what you have. I just want a cake. I don't want. Alright. You see, the spatula is so effective in getting the dough out. So you just wanna get all the dough out. Alright, so that's it. That's your deal. So just to release some of the bubbles, just drop it and lift it. Just drop and lift. So now to a preheating oven, just put the cake in. On the middle rack, and just close the oven. Set your timer for 35 minutes. Between 28 and 35, but I'm going to put 35. Alright, it's 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this is after 15 minutes. You see it rising. It's rising. This is after 15 minutes, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's how it looks after 30 minutes. Remember now, do not open the oven within the time, because if you do, your cake will deflate. This is a loaf pan, 2 loaf pans that I have. I'm gonna flip the cake and put it upside down on this. So we do this so it won't deflate. I'm gonna remove the cake now. Remove the cake. So that's my sponge cake. Sponge cake. See this now. Hold it carefully. It's hot, so you gotta be careful. So this size took the 35 minutes. So this size took the 35 minutes. So just flip it upside down. Just flip the cake upside down and allow it to cool before you turn it upward. Alright, so this is my sponge cake. It's cool, as light as ever. It's light, very light. we're gonna take this apart now and put it on this plate. Now to take this apart, I'm using this knife. It's an old knife because the tip is broken. So I remember we didn't butter this. So get into it. We didn't grease it, so get on the fingers. Hold it on. Hold it to the can as close as possible. Alright, let's go around it two times, 2 or 3 times. And just carefully tap it and remove it. Yeah. Alright, so just remove the paper. See if you're not using a tube pan, it's best though. If you're not using a tube pan, it's best to use a paper, because with the paper now it just fall right out. You see, so the cake sink right here instead of down here. So you just bloop. So look at my fingerprints. Alright, so that's my sponge cake. That's the sponge cake. I want you to see it. Alright. So now we're going to cut it together. Now we're going to cut the sponge cake together. Miguel's sponge cake. Should have bought a piece of cheese. That's what we like, Jamaicans like cheese. So now, let's go in the middle. And let's go boom, sponge. Yeah, this is a real sponge cake. Look at it. Booming away. Alrighty, this is it, sponge cake. So, fork. Oh, wow, look at that real sponge. So that's my sponge cake. Look at that. A real sponge cake. See, it's not everything that I do that I like. The thing I don't like about this, it's outrageously sweet. So I wouldn't recommend you to put any powdered sugar or anything. Drink this with some tea. Eat this with some tea. The kids will love this, but you know, I don't like anything too sweet, so that's why I don't like this. But it's nice. It's a nice cake. Just too sweet. And too, in general, with me, I don't really eat pastries. Like how I bake this, I'll eat it, and most of it I give away. But I don't really eat pastries. You rarely ever see me buy a biscuit. You see me just buy a plain crackers, anything, but no sweet biscuit, bun, no sir, not me. Now what I'm gonna do, I this back. This one, I'm gonna give this one away. This one now to keep it fresh. Wow, it's so light. I just can't get over how light it is. I'm gonna weigh this. This is nearly half. So it's cooled. So once it's come to a complete cooled, you just put it in a bag like this and seal it. That will keep it fresh. So this cake weighs 1 pound. Pound cake. This is pound cake too anyways. This is a cake that they sell in the supermarket. That is so nice. Yeah, this is it.